All right, shalom, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome back to the Sabbath reading. What up? Welcome. Happy Sabbath, everybody. What up? It's the Sabbath. And we out here, man. We got to finish up the book of Job today. So we're going to open up our Bibles, man, and see what it is and what it ain't. Let me see if you can see what they say. Devar's shallow sword. Look at that. Ooh, especially marked for me. So, but before we jump into Job, let's go over the books of the Bible. Oh man, I feel we're going to go to the books of the Bible today. So you're gonna say it with me. I'm gonna say something. All right, we back at it. It is cuckoo cachoo. Oh no. So we're gonna go over the books of the Bible right quick before we read Job. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. Nope. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. You repeat it.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus.
Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges.
Deuteronomy, Joshua, and Judges.
Ruth, 1 Samuel, and 2 Samuel.
Ruth, 1 Samuel, and 2 Samuel.
1 Kings, 2 Kings.
1 Kings, 2 Kings.
1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles.
1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles.
Ezra and Nehemiah.
Ezra and Nehemiah.
Esther, Job, and Psalms.
Esther, Job, and Psalms.
Proverbs, Ecclesiastes.
Proverbs, Ecclesiastes.
Song of Solomon, Isaiah.
Song of Solomon.
There you go.
Isaiah.
Jeremiah, Lamentations.
Jeremiah, Lamentations.
Ezekiel, Daniel.
Ezekiel, Daniel.
Hosea, Joel.
Hosea, Joel.
Amos, Obadiah.
Amos, Obadiah.
Jonah, Micah.
Jonah, Micah.
Nahum, Habakkuk.
Nahum, Habakkuk.
Zephaniah, Haggai.
Zephaniah, Haggai.
Zechariah, Malachi.
Zechariah, Malachi.
1 Ezra, 2 Ezra.
1 Ezra, 2 Ezra.
Tobit and Judith.
Tobit and Judith.
The rest of Esther.
The rest of Esther.
The wisdom of Solomon.
The wisdom of Solomon.
Ecclesiasticus or Sirach.
Ecclesiasticus or Sirach.
Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus or Sirach.
There you go. Baruch.
Baruch.
The song of the three holy children.
The song of the three holy children.
The history of Susanna.
The history of Susanna.
Baal and the dragon.
Baal and the dragon.
The prayer of Manassas.
The prayer of Manasseh.
First Maccabees and second Maccabees.
First Maccabees and second Maccabees.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, and 2 Corinthians. Acts, Romans,
2
First,
Acts,
Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians.
Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians. Thessalonians. There you go. Thessalonians. There you go. 2 Thessalonians. 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy.
1 Timothy and 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy.
Titus and Philemon. Hebrews, James. 1 Peter, 2 Peter.
1 Peter, 2 Peter.
1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, and Revelations.
1 John, 2 John,
3 John,
3 John,
Jude,
Jude,
and Revelations.
and Revelations.
Those are the books of the Bible.
I know, go to church.
Now go ahead and blow it up. Blow it up. Blow it up. Better than that. Blow it again. Now, that was a good one. Blow it again. That was a good one, though. Ooh, that boy sounded loud. That's what I'm talking about. Blow up the trumpets like they did in Jericho, like they did before battles, to be remembered like they did at the temple on the Sabbath day and high holy days. Blow up the trumpets so you can be heard. Give glory and honor to the Most High God. Blow it up. Lord. Do it again. That was better. All right. That's how it sounds like that. But you got to sound better than that, man. You got to make it sound better than that. So, man, we're going to pick back up where we left off in Job, the book of Job, man. I think we only got 4. We only got a couple of chapters left, man. A couple of chapters left. Hold on. All right, we're going to read the book of Job. Where did we leave off? I think we left off at chapter 37, man. Let me check right quick. Before we get to going, man, Job was going through a lot of stuff. His people was against him. His wife was against him. All these different things was happening to Job. Let's see what's the last book I read. Let me see what's the last, what is the description? Through 29, they lied. I read more than that.
Clouds which are higher than thou. If thou sinnest, what dost thou against him?
What back, boy? Let me
Or
see
if thy transgressions be multiplied, I think I'll wait. I'll stop there. Man, Job is going through some stuff, man. Them boys. I done gave it about an hour.
Let me see which one I stopped at. My bad. I'm trying to figure out where I stopped at. Come on.
Yeah, I really want to finish. But I think I'll wait. Because it is not so. He hath visited in his anger, and yet he knoweth it not in great extremity. And therefore doth Job open his mouth in vain, and he multiply his words without knowledge.
All right, we stopped on 36. All right, we stopped at Job chapter 36. There we go. So we stopped at Job chapter 36. Let's pick back up there. We're going to finish off. We're going 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42. We're going to finish off Job today. Let's finish off Job. The book of Job, right here. God's strength and wisdom. Elihu was preceded and said, suffer me a little, and I will shew thee that I have yet to speak on God's behalf. I will fetch my knowledge from afar, and I will ascribe righteousness to my Maker. For truly my word shall not be false, and he that is perfect in knowledge is with thee. And behold, God is mighty, and despiseth not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom. He preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor. And he withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne. And yea, he doth establish them forever, and they are extolled. And if they be bound in fetters and be holden in cords of affliction, then he sheweth them their work, and their transgression that they have exceeded. He openeth also his ears to discipline, and commanded that they return there from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity, and their years in pleasures. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. But the hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them. And they die in youth, and their life is among the unclean. And he delivereth the poor in his affliction, and openeth their ears in oppression. Even so would he have removed thee out of the strait into a broad place, where there is no straightness, and that which should be set on thy table should be full of fatness. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold of thee. Because there is wrath, beware lest he take thee away with his stroke, and then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. Desire not the night, and when people are cut off in their place, take heed and regard not iniquity. For this hast thou chosen rather than affliction. And behold, God extolleth by his power. Who teacheth like him? Who hath enjoyed him his way? Or who can say, thou hast wrought iniquity? And remember that thou magnify his work, which men behold, and every man may see it, and man may behold it afar off. And behold, God is great, and we know him not, and neither can the number of his years be searched out. For he maketh small the drops of water, and they pour down rain according to the vapor thereof, and which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly. Also, can any understand the spreadings of the clouds, or the noise of the tabernacle? Behold, he spreadeth his light upon it, and covereth the bottom of the sea. For by them judgeth he the people, and he giveth meat in abundance. With clouds he covereth the light, and commandeth it not to shine by the clouds that cometh betwixt. The noise thereof sheweth concerning it, and the cattle also concern the vapor. Chapter 37. God's wondrous works. At this also my heart trembleth, and is moved out of his place. Hear attentively the noise of his voice, and the sound that goeth out of his mouth. He directed it under the whole heaven, and his lightning unto the ends of the earth, and after it a voice roareth. He thundereth with the voice of his excellency, and he will not stay them when his voice is heard. God thundereth marvelously with his voice, and great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend. For he saith to the snow, be thou on the earth. Be thou on the earth, snow, be thou. Likewise to the small rain, and to the great rain of his strength. He sealeth up the hand of every man, that all men may know his works. Then the beasts go into dens, and remain there in their places. And out of the south cometh a whirlwind, and cold out of the north. By the breath of God frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straitened. And also by watering he wearieth the thick cloud, and he scattereth his bright cloud. And it is turned round about by his counsels, that they may do whatsoever he commanded them upon the face of the world in the earth. And he causeth it to come, whether for correction, or for his land, or for mercy. And hearken unto this, O Job, stand still, and consider the wondrous works of God. And dost thou know when God disposed them, and caused the light of his cloud to shine? Dost thou know the balancings of the clouds, the wondrous works of him which is perfect in knowledge? How thy garment are warm, when he quieteth the earth by the south wind. And hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and as a molten looking glass? Teach us what we shall say unto him, for we cannot order our speech by reason of darkness. Shall it be told him that I speak? And if a man speak, surely he shall be swallowed up. And now men see not the bright light which is in the clouds, but the wind passeth and cleanseth them. And fair weather cometh out of the north. With God is terrible majesty. And touching the Almighty, we cannot find him out. He is excellent in power, and in judgment, and in plenty of justice, and he will not afflict. And men do therefore fear him. And he respecteth not any that are wise of heart. Job chapter 38, God speaks to Job. Can you read it? What's the first word?
The.
No. Close.
Ten.
Nope, not 10. Almost close. Close. TH says. There you go. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up now thy loins like a
Again.
Like a,
Again.
ain't no again, boy. Like a,
Down.
like a what, man? What am I pointing at? What is this letters?
Man.
Okay,
I
golly.
thought he was pointing
No,
at
sir.
me.
No, sir. Like a man. For I will demand of thee and answer thou
Man.
me. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding. And who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest? Or who hath stretched the line upon it? And whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut up the sea with doors when it brake forth as if it has issued out of the womb? Who, when I made the clouds the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors, and said, hitherto shalt thou come, but no further, and here shall thy proud waves be stayed. Hast thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to know his place? That it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it? It is turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment. And from the wicked their light is withholden, and the high arms shall be broken. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the depths? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? And declare it, if thou knowest it all. And where is the way where light dwelleth? And ask for darkness, where is the place thereof? That thou shouldest take it to the bound thereof, and that thou shouldest know the paths to the house thereof. Knowest thou it? Because thou wast then born, and because the number of thy days is great, that hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow? Hast thou seen the treasures of the hail, which I have received against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war? And by the what way is the light parted, which scattereth the east wind upon the earth? Who had divided the water course for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning and thunder, to cause it to rain on the earth where no man is, and on the wilderness where there is no man, to satisfy the desolate and waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth? Hath the rain a father? Or who hath begotten the drops of dew? And out of the whose womb came the ice, and the hoary frost of heaven? Who hath gendered it? The waters are hid as with the stone, and the face of the depth of the deep is frozen. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of the Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Let me mark that. What they know about Pleiades and the Orion? That's astrology. Canst thou bring forth Mazaroth in his season? I need to know, who is that? Who is Mazaroth? Put a question mark by it. Who is Mazaroth? Mazzaroth. Can thou bringest forth Mazaroth in his season? Or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? Knowest thou the ordinances of heaven? And canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth? Canst thou lift up the voice to the clouds, that abundance of waters may cover thee? Canst thou send lightnings that they may go, and say unto thee, here are we? Who hath put wisdom in the inward parts, and who hath given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds of wisdom, and who can stay the bottles of heaven? And when the dust groweth into hardness, and the clods cleave fast together, wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion, or fill the appetite of the young lions? And when they couch in their dens, and abide in the covert to lie in wait, who provideth for the raven his food? And when his young ones cry unto God, they wander for lack of meat. Chapter 39, God created life. Knowest thou the time when the wild goats of the rocks bring forth? Or canst thou mark when the hinds do clave? Canst thou number the months that they fulfill? Or knowest thou the time when they bring forth? They bow themselves, they bring forth their young ones, they cast out their sorrows. Their young ones are in good liking, and they grow up with corn. They go forth and return not unto them. Who hath sent out the wild ass free? And who hath loosed the bands of the wild ass? Whose house I have made the wilderness, and the barren and land his dwellings. His scorneth the multitude of the city, neither regardeth he the crying of the driver. The range of the mountains is his pasture, and he searcheth after every green thing. And will the unicorn be willing to serve thee, or abide by thy crib? Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow, or will he harrow the valleys after thee? Wilt thou trust him because his strength is great, or wilt thou leave thy labor to him? Wilt thou believe him that he will bring home thy seed and gather it into thy barn? Givest thou thy goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, and which leaveth her eggs out in the earth, and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them? She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers, and her labor is in vain without fear, because God had deprived her of wisdom, and neither hath he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifted up herself on high, and she scorneth the horse and his rider. Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with thunder? Canst thou make him afraid as a grasshopper? The glory of his nostrils is terrible. Go get your basketball. Go see if you find it. He pauseth in the valley and rejoiceth in his strength. He goeth on to meet the armed men, and he mocked at fear, and it is not affrighted, neither turned he back from his sword. The quiver rattleth against him, the glittering spear and the shield. He swalloweth the ground with fierceness and rage, and neither believeth he that it is the sound of the trumpet. You got it?
Well, this one I usually use, but it doesn't really have a lot.
We need some air. Okay, we need some air. Blow up the trumpet.
Yeah.
It says, and he that it is. Do it better than that. It is the sound of the trumpet. Oh, give me that. That sucks.
I could mine.
Man, mine sucks.
Yes, it.
What did he say? He say, he saith among the trumpets, ha! And he smelleth the battle afar off, the thunder of the captains and the shouting. And doth the hawk fly by thy wisdom, and stretch her wings towards the south? Doth the eagle mount up at thy command, and make her nest on high? She dwelleth and abideth on the rock, upon the crag of the rock and the strong place. And from thence she seeketh the prey, and her eyes behold afar off. Her young ones also suck up blood, and where the slain are, there is she. Chapter 40. Job's submission to God. Moreover, the Lord answered Job and said, shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him? He that reproveth God, let him answer it. Then Job answered the Lord and said, behold, I am vile, and what shall I answer thee? I will lay mine hand upon my mouth, and once have I spoken, but I will not answer, and yea, twice, but I will proceed no further. Then answered the Lord unto Job out of the whirlwind and said, gird up thy loins now like a man. I will demand, let me mark that, gird up thy loins like a man. Gird up your loins like a man, Job. Get your ass up. I will demand of thee and declare thee unto me. Wilt thou also disannul my judgment? Wilt thou condemn me that thou mayest be righteous? Hast thou an arm like God, or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Deck thyself now with majesty and excellency, and array thyself with glory and beauty. Cast abroad the rage of thy wrath, and behold every one that is proud, and abase him. Look on every one that is proud, and bring him low, and tread down the wicked in their place. Hide them in the dust together, and bind their faces in secret. And then will I also confess unto thee that thine own right hand can save thee. Behold now Behemoth, which I made with thee. He eateth grass as an ox, and lo, now his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong pieces of brass, and his bones are like bars of iron. He is chief in the ways of God. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. And surely the mountains bring him forth food, and where all the beasts of the field play. He layeth under the shady trees, in the covert of the reed, and fens, and shady trees cover him with the shadows, and the willows of the brook compass him about. Behold, he drinketh up a river, and hasteth not. He trusted that he can draw up Jordan unto his mouth, and he taketh it with his eyes, his nose piercing through snares. Can you please go get me a bottle of water, please, sir?
That's all.
Chapter 41. The Leviathan's power. Canst thou draw a Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee, and will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? And shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, and do no more. And behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dares stir him up. And who then is able to stand before me? Who had prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine, and I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, and nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment? Or who can come to him with the double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride. They don't have no cold one?
Yeah. Well, some of them
Give me one of them. Give me that orange lemonade out of the refrigerator, please. You could have one of them. Give me one of them orange ones.
like that peach one?
Yes, sir. The mango is called mango. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can have the blueberry one. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close steel. And one is so near unto another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together, and they cannot be sundered. By his neesings of light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. And out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. And out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or a cauldron. Yes, sir. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. And in his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together, and they are firm in themselves, and they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, and yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings they purify themselves, and the sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the harbinger. Come on. There we go. The harbinger. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good, boy. That's good. Let me help you.
I think we'll go off.
That one good too. Yes, sir. Tasty.
Is that a bee?
When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reasons of the breaking they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the harbinger. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee, and sling stones are turned with him into stubble, and darts are counted as stubble. And he laugheth at the shaking of a spear, and sharp stones are under him.
Wait, you have a spear.
That's right. He spreadeth sharp pointing things upon the mire, and he maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment, and he maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary, and upon earth there is not his like. Who is made without fear, and he beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride. Chapter 42, last chapter. And then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. Who is he that hideth counsel without knowledge? And therefore have I uttered that I understand not. Things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. And here I beseech thee, and I will speak. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. And I have heard of thee by the hearing of an ear. By mine own eye seeth thee. And wherefore I abhor myself, and repent in dust and ashes. And it was so, that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, My wrath is kindled against thee, and against thy two friends, for ye have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job hath. And therefore take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer up for yourselves a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept, lest I deal with you after your folly. And in that ye have not spoken of me the thing which is right, like my servant Job. So Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite went and did according as the Lord commanded them. And the Lord also accepted Job, and the Lord turned captivity of Job. And when he prayed for his friends, also the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. And then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house. And they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. And so the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep, and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she-asses. And he had also 7 sons and 3 daughters. And he called the name of the first Jemima, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Keren-Happuch. And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. And after this lived Job 140 years, and saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So Job died, being old and full of days. Oh man, Job lived a long, good life, baby. Job saw 4 generations, and that was the book of Job. We have completed the book of Job for the Sabbath reading. You know, I really be wanting to look into Behemoth and Leviathan. There's definitely 2 things I definitely want to look more into. But the point of this is just to read. It's just to read. That's why it's called a Sabbath reading, not the Sabbath teaching. It's a Sabbath reading. We're trying to read and get a better understanding. Look at what we didn't read so far. Oh, look at what we read, baby.
You didn't read it.
Yeah, I read that. Plus, I read the Apocrypha. Man, I read the whole Apocrypha, man. Yeah, the whole Apocrypha. Man, we read a lot. And we read a lot. We have read a lot come to Sabbath, man. We have read a lot. I am in the book of Psalms, man. And Psalms have a lot of chapters. Psalms has 150 chapters, but the chapters are pretty small. Some chapters are small. Some chapters are small. Let me say it like that. 150 chapters of Psalms. Ooh, a lot of trumpet blowing. Blow up the trumpet, boy. Blow up the trumpet for the Lord. Blow up the trumpet for Psalms and Job. Pull that thing was random. That's how it sounds. That was close. That was better. Blow it up again. Blow it up again. Blow it up again. That sounded good. That was a good one, man. That was a good one. Let's get it. So, man, once again, that was a Sabbath reading, man. Where we trying to find the do's and the don'ts, what it is and what it ain't, and what we can and what we can't, so we can be better. We can try to adjust ourselves if adjustments need to be made. Calm it down, man. Calm it down. Wait till I'm done, then you can play it all you want. What adjustments need to be made in our lives, so that way we can be better, man. Better. That's the objective, is to be better. Be better than you were yesterday. And then tomorrow, Lord, spare your life, be better than you were today. You know, better whatever you are. Father, daughter, mother, sister, brother, son, you know, uncle, auntie. Be better. Be better. Be better. Push forward. Be better. Cousin. Be better. Be better. Let's push forward. Keep pushing forward. One day at a time, one little bit at a time. Grab whatever book you read. Grab whatever book of the power you believe in and read it, man. Read it. Don't let people just tell you anything, because people will tell you anything. They will lie to you quickly, with a smile upon their face. Backstabbers, they lying in your face. But you won't know. You would know if you read for yourself. if you didn't rely on other people just to tell you. Yes, sometimes people do have to teach you things. Sometimes people do have to teach you things, but you have to double check the things that you're being taught. You need to go back and see if what you're being taught is what is correct. Or at least what you're being taught is what is within the book that you're reading from or you're being taught from. Try to get an understanding for yourself. And then from the stuff you read, when people say something, you know, you can be like, yeah, it says that, or, you know, it doesn't say that, or you understand it as such, or you can go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little to understand the things that was left behind. Man, to bring comfort to your mind. So, but hey, man, shalom, everybody. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your Sabbath, man. There's still some Sabbath left, man. There's still Sabbath left. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. No buying, no selling, no cooking, no work of any time, any kind. No working, man. Get your butt up. Man, you should be able to do that for the Lord, man. You should be able to do that for who you believe in. If that's what you say you believe in, you should be able to do it too. You should be able to push yourself. You want the Most High to do all kind of things for you. You should be able to keep his Sabbath. Keep his Sabbath holy. Oh, even though Chick-fil-A doing the wrong day, they shut their shit down because they think it's a Sabbath. That's what you're supposed to do. But hey, once again, shalom, everybody. Till next time. Hey, wonderful reading. We pushed through. We finished off Job like we were supposed to do last Sabbath.
Shalom. Shalom out.
So till next time, baby. Happy Sabbath, man. It's Shalom, man. I'm out here reading shit, man. Tell your people, man. We out here. We doing shit. We learning shit. We reading shit. We trying to be better. I'm out here. Shalom out, baby. Shalom. Happy Sabbath, everybody.
And making a way.